Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be going over how we're going to be exploring changes in motion. And we're doing this so we can figure out what caused the motion of our pod to change. We've been looking at a lot of comics so far that explain what should have happened with the pod as it docked with the station, and to begin thinking about it, explaining what happened to the pod after it docked and what actually occurred. And we know that as the pod approached the space station, something went wrong. The scientists lost visualization with the pod, and all of a sudden, the pod was moving in a specific way. We got to figure out what caused that motion of the pod to change. Now, to do that, to understand how the pod changed its direction, changed its motion, we're going to be investigating how the motion of an object changes and what can cause these changes to happen. Now, we know we can't go into space to test this idea, so we're going to be simulating objects changing their motion by conducting a lab. Now, your lab will require you to use these materials to investigate our guiding question. In what ways can the motion of an object change? And you can use any of these objects that you see here. So your job will be to move these objects in different ways and try to change their motion in different ways. There is no, note, as you see here, wrong way for how to use these objects to change each other's motion. You'll have some lids, you'll have a spring launcher, and you'll have a golf ball. Your job, make them move, change their motion in different ways. Now, the spring launcher is one of the tools we'll be using in our lab. We need to make sure that we don't pull it back beyond the very first mark so that our lab can be productive. You can use the spring launcher with any of the objects or not. It's totally up to you. As you use the spring launcher and the other objects, you're going to be making observations about how the object's moving before and after you change its motion. So, to do that, you'll be recording your observations in the motion data table. Okay. The motion data table has two columns. The first one is the object's original motion. So, how did you move your object to begin with? So, maybe you have an object that is already moving. Could be the golf ball, could be the lid, could be the spring loader, whatever. You're then going to do something to change its motion in some way, shape, or form. Remember, we're looking to find 4 different ways to change an object's motion. So maybe you have a golf ball and it's moving and you cause it to slow down in some way. So that would be the change in its motion. Similar to how we have a bike rider here and he's moving with a certain amount of motion. And then for some reason he starts to slow down. Maybe he's, I don't know, riding his bike up a hill or something. So you record what the object's original motion is and how you changed its motion then in the right side. You got to do this 4 times. 4 ways it's moving, 4 changes to those motions. They have to be different. So ask yourself, do you understand how to conduct the lab using the materials and how to record your observations for how the motion of an object changes? Go ahead and complete your survey. If you put your X in yellow or red, make sure you check in. Otherwise, you can also watch this video about how to conduct the lab and what it might look like as you explore the motion of these objects. Feel free to watch the video if you need help. Otherwise, good luck.